Hello, welcome to episode 4 of the Curse of Strahd campaign diary that is mine, in fact. Today, I am going to talk about what happened when the party went to Kresk and when they went to go see the Abbott over at the Abbey of St. Markovia. This is a really cool and creepy place that they can go to within the village of Kresk, and it is one of my favorites sort of set pieces. I don't know, key locations, I guess you could call it. And it's quite intriguing. So I set it up earlier by when they were interacting with other NPCs in the village. They heard about the abbot and how he was benevolent. However, people would head up for assistance or healing, and they would not be seen again. But he does have some sort of protection over them because he is, in fact, an abbot of the Morning Lord, which is the sun based lawful good deity of Ravenloft, anyway. So it's a bit of a mixed bag there, and the party decided to head up and figure out what exactly was going on at the Abbey. All right. So this here is a photo of a depiction of the Abbey of St. Markovia in Kresk. Um, it is a really interesting location, for the most part, because it is a microcosm of showing how this land breaks people within it. There was a individual who came, and the villagers can tell the character is this, someone known as the Abbott, which the characters will probably not find out, but they might, is actually a deva, or a diva. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Deva. And it is a angelic being of great power. And they came to help bring good and light to Barovia. But even the best of the best, the holiest of holy, could still be changed and broken by the land and by Strahd. So when my players got up there, they were very mistrusting of the abbot. They encountered the strange mongrel folk that were there who are changed and altered humans who aren't 100% there mentally either. And when they met the abbot, they weren't really sure what to make of him. I followed the guide, I believe it was from Fleshing Out Curse of Strahd on Reddit, that kind of guides you to depict him as a sort of confused almost, but very knowledgeable at the same time, very wise, but also very confused. And he was very aloof, very confusing, but was steadfast in his belief that he's helping these people, he's doing the right thing. And I think that's the main thing you have to drive home with them is that in some twisted way, believes that these experiments that he's performing on these people is helping them. He's freeing them from their torments of this place. So he's effectively like affecting them physically so that mentally they're broken and they're changed. They're different and they don't really know what's going on anymore. And that is his way of healing them. He believes he's freeing them from this curse, and he's freeing them from this eternal torment that they're kind of subjected to. Because in the book, the way things go is that when people die in Barovia, they don't really continue. They don't pass on or leave. They get like recycled essentially. Their souls and their beings get recycled, and there's some people who are alive who don't really have a soul. They're kind of just there existing. And so the abbot is trying to help with that. Another interesting encounter that can happen here that happened to my party was the bride as well. The abbot is also trying to build a good relationship with Strahd and keep him happy in the hopes that he can continue his work. Sorry about that. And so he creates this flesh golem, essentially, this amalgamation of people in order to create the likeness of his once love Tatiana. And so here is a depiction of her likeness from the book itself. I believe her name is Vasilka. And And the abbot has his way that he believes this is going to be the right way to go about it. This is how he appeases Strahd with this creation. But Strahd knows that this is just nothing. He knows that it doesn't mean anything. But the abbot believes in everything. He believes wholeheartedly that this is going to work. Um, and all of this can be done without really even having a combat with the abbot. There doesn't have to be aggression. There can just be calm speaking and talking back and forth. Um, the whole abbey, I think, shouldn't really be run as a combat or like a dungeon crawl or you're clearing it out. It should be ran as, I mean, what I think anyway is that it should be really a showcase of what this place can do. Especially because I decided to have my players start on the western end of Barovia. They're seeing this first. So this is the first thing that they're kind of encountering, kind of the weird, the undead, the strange. So I think it's a really powerful scenario that you can show this. You can kind of show this interaction between Strahd and the land, the people that are there. Um, I really like it a lot. Um, and my group decided to not do anything. They were hands off. And so he's still going to be there. And we're 20 sessions in now at this point. So I'm curious to see whether they're going to go back or not. If they're going to go deal with him or leave him to his devices, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm really curious to find out, to be honest. So I'm not really sure what kind of wisdom to impart on this one. The group went up there, they talked. This one was all kind of theme and tone setting. There wasn't really a whole lot that happened. The one thing that did happen though is that I decided to, because I really like this area, I decided that the one of the key pieces of information in the uh, was in the Abbey. It was the Tome of Strahd, one of the key artifacts, and they were able to recover it. Um, and what was a really cool moment, I think, was that they were fighting these really tough creatures. I think they were wights. This adventure can be quite deadly, so be careful. And I had the abbot just kind of sitting back and creepily kind of watching them. He was just sitting there watching. I don't think they'd even talked to him at that point. They were just kind of checking out the grounds, and they weren't really keen on going inside. But in the fight, it was kind of a slog. They really couldn't hit them. The characters couldn't do damage. They were getting beat up a bit. And so I just had the abbot like cast some divine spell, like turn undead, or um, what's the one where the light comes from the sky? My cleric had it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I had him do that, like just this awesome, powerful divine spell, just to show how powerful he was. And I think that was a really cool moment um, that worked out really well because they were like, this isn't just some random abbot or some random priest who's doing weird experiments. This is some powerful thing, and I thought that was pretty neat. So with this one, I would say don't be afraid to have things not be combat. They don't always have to be a fight or a crawl or a slog. There can be fights. It's always fun to have a combat, but there's some instances like this where it's not really implicit in the design of the adventure that it's meant to be non-combat, but definitely don't be afraid to kind of run it that way. Especially this Abbey of St. Markovia, I think it's a really, really cool area. It's a great place if, say, one of them gets wounded or dies, they can go back there and get healing um, from the creepy abbot who's there. But uh, anyway, oh yeah, that's right. Esmeralda was also there, so they were able to meet her. Um, and she kind of set them on the path to what I'll talk about next time, which is she spoke to them about why they were here. She kind of showcased she was a cool monster hunter, really fun character to run. But she spoke about the wizard's tower they were looking for information on the land. That's right. They were looking for information on where they were and what the heck is going on. So she guided them she said, hey, head to this tower. I wasn't able to get in. My cart is there. Don't touch it. But if you can get inside the tower, that is the tower of my old master, Rudolf von Richten, and you can find some artifacts or some information there. And that was a really cool way to kind of get them to go somewhere and get some lore. Because up until that point, they were kind of confused as to where they had to go. Mostly because they had met Madame Eva for the card reading, but they hadn't they didn't figure out where the locations were, so they're just starting to put things together. But I will speak about Esmeralda and the tower next time, so I hope to see you there. This is Curse of Strahd campaign diary number 4, I believe. Only 16 more to go, and then I'll be caught up. So have yourself a wonderful day. I hope your games go well, and I will see you soon.